Good Friday morning. Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still back with you here. We are tracking a cold front coming into the area that is going to bring some colder air with it as we head on in through the next couple days. Kind of a repeat of a pattern that we saw last week. And, well, let's start off this November 1st by taking a look back at the month of October here. Actually slightly above average as far as temperatures are concerned by about 2/3 of a degree, so it's not all that substantial. We almost hit 90 degrees on the first part of the month, and then our coldest came last week as that first real shot of Arctic air got into the neighborhood here, and fairly average as far as rainfall was concerned, just about where we should be for this time of the year when you compare other Octobers. Now, we do have a chance for some more rainfall coming our way later tonight going into tomorrow. We are ahead of the front today, and what that means is that we are going to be looking at warm and windy conditions, but later this afternoon and this evening, showers and thunderstorms get going, and the potential is there. Some of those storms, although I think the thunder part is going to be relatively limited, could have some gusty winds associated with them. Behind the front, that's where we're going to be tomorrow morning. We will start off with some clouds along the coastal sections here, but drier air eventually filters in, and just in time for us to fall back as far as daylight saving time is concerned. We're also going to have temperatures fall back as we go into Sunday morning. And the pattern kind of repeats itself. We saw this pattern last weekend. We'll see it again this upcoming week as we go on through. Now, again, the threat tracker is in the medium category for the day today. Later this afternoon and this evening, it potentially could have an impact with some Friday night football games with these storms going, especially west of Highway 258 late this afternoon and this evening. And then those storms do work their way eastbound as we head overnight tonight. Some heavy rainfall, especially along the beaches, the pre-dawn hours tomorrow, but then by sunrise, most of this action should be out of here. High temperatures well above average, upper 70s and low 80s. The clouds will thicken up. There may be a peek or two of sunshine for the morning hours here, but don't expect to see a whole lot of sun. It's windy and warm overnight tonight, still remaining above average, upper 60s and low 70s for overnight temperatures, especially along the beaches. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, kind of a transition day. We start off with some clouds and showers east of Highway 17 in the early morning hours, and then eventually sunshine develops from west to east as we go on through time. Now, tomorrow's going to be a transition day. We'll start off warm at least until early afternoon when some sunshine breaks out. But by later in the afternoon, temperatures will start to drop from early afternoon highs into the low 70s as that colder air does work its way on in, as the winds do switch around to a northwesterly direction. So it kind of makes you wonder, what is average for this time of year? 71 and 48. That's the average temperature range for this time of year. Notice this morning's low 69. That's only 2 below the average daytime high for this time of year. We're not setting records. Records in the upper 80s, but still well above average for this time of year, to say the least. And again, the temperatures are going to be a big deal that we're going to be tracking here as we go on through the day today. A couple spots, maybe with a peek or two of sunshine, getting near 80 degrees. Notice still mild overnight tonight and still mild for the first part of tomorrow up until 3 or 4 o'clock. And then that colder air slices in. We watch temperatures fall by late in the afternoon through the 60s, and we're headed down into the 40s, upper 40s for the first part of Sunday morning. So here's how things look from the wider perspective. We are tracking that colder air across the Great Lakes and southern Canada heading southbound, but out ahead of it, notice the surge of warm air from basically the entire eastern seaboard, from Florida all the way up to Boston. We're seeing warm temperatures for this morning, and that is responsible for some severe weather that took place yesterday in the Tennessee Valley up through the Ohio Valley. A lot of wind reports. There were a couple tornadoes in southern Illinois, but really, for the most part, it's been the wind damage reports that have been the big factor with this. Also, a couple more tornado reports, though, down there from waterspouts in Louisiana. We're used to seeing that around here in eastern Carolina, so very similar fashion. All right, this is what we are tracking. A strong cold front that's working its way through the Tennessee Valley as we speak. The cold Arctic air on the back side of it. Surge of warm, humid air, though, coming up on the front side of it, and that is what's going to be arriving in our neighborhood, the cold air, that is, as we head through the second half of this weekend. Until then, though, in spite of the cloud cover, we're going to see warm temperatures, and a lot of this has to do with the way the jet stream is configured right now. You'll notice the deep trough with the colder air settling back in here across the northern plains. Southwesterly winds, though, out ahead of that. That's what's keeping our temperatures on the warm side. Now, notice how the trough goes. There is a secondary piece kind of sitting back here. The first one is lifted off into Quebec and southern Canada. But here comes the secondary piece in this trough. And that's what swings through as we go through tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Notice late tomorrow afternoon how we've replaced the oranges and yellows that have been pushed out over the ocean with the greens and the blues. And it's this little pocket of cold air right here, this trough that swings through. So I think we will see a few clouds late tomorrow afternoon as this surge of colder air is coming in, and that may even last into the early morning hours on Sunday. But by Sunday afternoon, we do look for that trough to get offshore. Still left with the cold air sitting over us here for early Monday morning. But again, like I said, the pattern kind of repeats itself. Upper level ridge starts to refire here off of the southeast coast and over Florida. And tell you what, this potentially could be the winter pattern kind of showing itself here, that we may actually see, short, sharp intrusions of colder air, but then the southeast ridge flexes right back again. So that's something we're going to have to watch. Just maybe giving us a little hint as to what the wintertime pattern is going to be, or at least for the first part of winter, let's say. Meanwhile, as we progress into the first part of next week, southwesterly winds do start to kick back in, and we warm our temperatures back up to above average. Although it may be a dirty warm-up, there may be some moisture involved in that. Here's what Future Track is showing us as we go on through the day today. We are going to be looking at, again, lots of high and mid-level clouds around out there. Any filtered sunshine we see will be early on in the day. Showers and storms, especially west of Highway 258, later on this afternoon and this evening, and then that does work eastbound here. You'll notice around midnight some of that heavier rainfall starting to come now east of Highway 258, but still not down to the beaches yet. It's overnight tonight in through the early morning hours tomorrow that the beaches will get it, maybe even hanging on to a shower along the beaches for the early morning hours tomorrow. Also holding on to some cloud cover, especially up until the early afternoon east of Highway 17. But then after that, westerly winds kick in. We get that drier air coming in. And again, as we go through later tomorrow afternoon and evening, that's when we're going to watch those temperatures really plummet. Notice how the wind hours, the wind barbs, get a little bit longer, showing the stronger winds coming in. And that is going to be a chilly wind in here as we head in through Sunday. Still a little concerned we could have some cloud cover to start the day on Sunday with, but it does look like mainly sunny skies for the most part of Sunday as well. How much rainfall can we expect? We'll take a look here. I mean, it really kind of depends on where you are, but especially east of Highway 17, I think that's the best chance of seeing upwards of 3/4 to an inch of rainfall as this system does come through. And again, it's pretty much out of here by the early morning hours tomorrow, and then we dry the skies out as we progress through the afternoon hours tomorrow. So your planning forecast does look like this. We are looking at showers and storms in here for this afternoon and this evening. We will also be looking at clearing skies for tomorrow afternoon. We'll take temperatures down for the first part of the week with sunshine around, although again some high mid-level clouds also possibly there, as it could be a dirty warm-up. And then eventually, like I said, the pattern repeats itself. We get out of the 60s into the 70s ahead of the next storm system, which could be in here as early as next Thursday, maybe even on Friday possibly as well. Also a good time to tell you, go to the Google store or go to the iTunes store and download our Storm Track 12 mobile app for your Android or for any of your iDevices, whether your pad or pod or phone. It's for free, so download it for free. You can get the hourly forecast on there, radar on there, as well as your 10-day forecast. So that's something that will keep you up to date as we go through today and even in through this weekend. Have yourself a good Friday. I'll talk to you on Monday. When we fall back, remember, we go back, set the clocks back Sunday. See you on Monday. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.